Alright, everything is ready to go. I just did a wipe down on the bumper right here and do a tack cloth on it. As soon as I get that done, I'm going to start spraying the sealer on that. And then while that's setting up, I'll go ahead and in just a few minutes get the base coat ready to start putting it on here. I'll get one coat of base on this, and I'll come back and start on the bumper. That way I'll have plenty of flash time on the sealer. Okay, I'm going to mix up the base coat. Okay, I'm going to take off the bed panel, shoot one coat of 222S adhesion promoter over the whole repair area, the whole panel basically. I'm just not going to go all the way to the edge around. I don't need it back here, but basically from right here all the way forward. Then I'll blend onto that, and then I'll get clear over all of it. We'll go ahead and tack it off. Be right back to spray it. Alright, I'll put one coat of base. I'm actually going to start with an older color off some other truck I had left over and get rid of that. So I'm going to put one coat on the bumper first, and I'll come back and mix up the base coat for this truck and start on here, then go back and forth from the bumper to the bed panel and back and forth till I need to blend this. Then I'll thin my base coat and go out with it. Alright, I'll put a couple more coats of the actual color over it. That's just getting me close and getting rid of some old paint. Second coat. Alright, I'll put at least one more, but I'll have to wait and see what it looks like. See if I need to thin it out. I probably will. I'll be back for that in a minute. Alright, I put a third coat on a little bit further out. I'm actually trying to blend right up in that area right there, because that flare is going to come up past those clips up into this area. That'll only be like a 6 to 8 inch visible width there that the blend will even show. So I'm trying to blend over to the middle of the wheel well right there. And it's probably 95% there now. I could probably just leave it, but I thinned what I had left. I had probably 2 ounces of paint. So I just put 2 more ounces of reducer in. I'm just going to extend just from this angle out. I'm not going to worry about going around this edge. It'll actually blend off that corner on top and bottom, and I'll blend it across into there just a little bit further. It should make it even better. I'll let it dry for about 10 minutes just to see how it's going to stabilize. I'll be back to show you that before I clear it. Here's a quick look at the blend. I don't have enough battery life left to film putting the clear on, but I'll come back and show you when I'm done. I can't even tell where I stopped it. It's pretty much gone. And if you know where you're looking, you might be able to see it, but I can't tell anything right now. It looks pretty good. I'm going to give it 2 coats of clear. I've already done the bumper just off camera so I can get it out of the way. I moved it out over there outside the curtain so I don't get overspray all over it while I do this. I try to do the part that I can move out first if I've got a lot to do. Get it out of the way, that way I don't get overspray all over that part while it sits here. I'll be back in a few minutes when I'm done with this. Alright, it's been about 10 or 15 minutes since I sprayed it. Actually turned out really nice. It's pretty clean. Since I have to put a big decal on the back of this thing, I'm going to let it sit for at least a day while I work on painting the ridge line that I've got here too. And then it'll be time to decal this thing. Be back when I get ready to put that decal on and get it put back together. Right, I've got just about everything on the truck except the flare. I just did some buffing on just some dust nibs. I've got the surface cleaned down with alcohol over here. I'm going to go ahead and get the sticker out. I'm going to fit it to the side here and get it lined up where it needs to go. Then I'll pull the adhesive liner off. Spray it down with some soap water solution, and I'll squeegee it on flat. Let it sit there and dry. I may get the heat gun out to kind of force it dry, and then I'll pull the cover off the decal and just let it sit there and dry overnight. Alright, I had to install the tail light. Decal comes with 2 notches on the end. Each notch, actually, the top of this corner of this notch right here aligns to the transition from red to white or clear in the tail light. And then you just run this parallel to that body line down here like this. This aligns with the tail light pocket. This will just run parallel to this, top of this body line. So I had to have that mark in there. I could eyeball it from the other side just to match it, but that way I know it's in the right place. I'm going to use a squeegee, but I've got one that I keep with felt tape rolled around the edge just to help it glide a little better. I'm going to go ahead and wet this down, and I'll pull the backing off of this to expose the adhesive. I'll wet this down, and then I'll set it on the truck and squeegee it from the center out. And press all the water out with this, both directions. And then once that's dry, I can go ahead and pull the top layer, the cover off the decal later on when it's dry. Alright, I'll finish squeegeeing that out, and then I'll probably hit it with the heat gun just to kind of force it dry a little bit and get that liner off. Alright, it's only been about 30 seconds or so, but I'm going to go ahead and try to pull that cover off. If it tries to lift it, I'll just lay it down and let it dry a little longer, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get it off so it can be drying out. And as I go, I'm going to soak up the water behind there just so it doesn't soak back into the edges of the decal. Alright, came right off. I'll show you close up. See, this is a actual Toyota decal. There are some aftermarket ones out there, but I was able to get this one from Toyota. A little air pocket here I got to work out, but the rest of it looks pretty good. Just need to get the flare on, everything will be good. Alright, I still have that flare to get on there, but I'm going to go ahead and do the cavity wax over those spots where I put the weld studs on there. I've got this leftover rust fighter that I need to use up. I do have the new type Cavity Wax Plus that has the wand kit. I've got probably it's an 8-inch, 24-inch, and 34-inch wand kit here. If I can focus on this. It's from 3M. 8851. You just ram this in through a hole or whatever and just fog it, coat the inside of a panel. And since I can access the back of this panel from, at least visually from the back, I'm just going to use this that's got the straw on it. These two longer ones have a fog tip on it, and the short one in here is just open on the end. And these are all reusable. I just keep them in here as I use them, put it back. I'm going to go ahead and spray this over the welds, that way this can be drying up too. And then I'll get that flare put on here, and then I just need to drop the bed liner back in and give it a quick wash, and we'll be done. Alright, I still need to drop the bed liner in it, but we're essentially going to call this one done. Need to do a quick wash, but it's essentially 99% there. Give you one last look at the paint. I just nib sanded some light dust out of it. Overall, had a pretty good match, nice blend. Here's a look at the bodywork area. I'll be back soon with 2008 Honda Ridgeline. We actually got it outside and doing both these at once. See you then.